Hey, we got another part to our college series today, and I got a very awesome guest. Bubba Clemens is here to join us. Bubba, talk to us, introduce yourself and what you do here at Mill Creek High School.
Cool. Yeah, it's glad to be here. I am Bubba Clemens, Mr. Clemens, Coach Clemens, whatever you want to call me. It's all good. I teach 12th grade honors and college prep language arts. I've been here for like 7 or 8 years now doing that. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I called you in here today is we're talking about getting into college. I've had students in the past who get extremely stressed out and just worked up over this essay that kids are writing to get into college. So tell me how your class directly relates to this topic.
cool. Narrative writing is kind of that's what these college application essays are. And so we start our fall semester with this. And the kids have fun with it. It's a narrative writing. They get to talk about themselves. The stressful part of it, I get it. It's that it's got to be polished and it's got to be sent to an admissions office. So we picked the Common App prompts. Now, some kids got certain schools that they want to apply to, so there's different prompts. But we start our narrative writing with, those college admission essay prompts, and we write them up. And we spend some time looking at examples, and then we write them up, we polish them up, and stuff like that. So. It's stressful. We try to teach it as a normal part of our curriculum, try to do the two birds, one stone kind of thing. But kids just, to be real, they don't take it serious, and it comes time to submit it, and then they have to come back to it. So, it does take them longer when they should just probably focus on it, put their voice into it, and write it well like they can.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it becomes a stressful thing for them towards like actual when you apply
Applying.
time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Tell me, and we might have some audience folks tuning into this. They don't even know what a Common App is. Back up and just explain what that is.
So a lot of colleges, I know a lot of local schools in Georgia, state universities, Georgia Gwinnett, I believe, like Georgia State, things like that. Instead of going out and producing their own type of prompts and whatnot, the Common App allows colleges to go to like one source and pull the information. So it's actually good for the students because they can put it into the Common App and then select the school they want to send it to. So it's kind of like a hub for college. It's like a hub for students and colleges to kind of communicate with those essays. So and they come out with 6. They have 6, and I think there's 7 actually because you can choose your own. But there's 6, and they vary from year to year, but primarily the same. It's basically write about yourself. So the Common App allows them to do that and send them off to different schools.
What year did you go to college?
So I was 2004s when I graduated high school, and then so that's my first year in college, and I bounced around a little bit from school to school, changed my majors a bunch and stuff like that.
So I went into college in '98, so I was a little before you. But what I've noticed is it's harder. A lot of times for kids to get into college, it's become a little bit more rigorous. I would say. You agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I guess
it's
that's
scary. I feel for them, but at the same time, if you writing the essays and stuff like that, you get ahead. That's why we try to do at the beginning of the semester. The pressure is off a little bit, so you really got to start just planning. That's the big part about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have that as much. No, I can't speak for '98.
I did not either. I didn't have the
like
pressure.
3 decades ago, Coach. And mine was only 2. So.
But the pressure is a serious deal. And I remember, and I ask, I'm like, what has changed? Because it's not that there was no pressure. I just didn't, I was not stressed to the level that some of these kids get stressed. I've literally heard of kids being suicidal due to pressure in their life that comes from academics, getting into college, this, that, and the other. They shut down and they really have. Now, that's the most severe cases I've heard about. But there was just not that much of that when I was in school. So.
Yeah, I feel the same way where kids have this image of where they want to go to school for whatever reason. It could be pressure from, their parents or their family, pressure from expectations. I know going to Georgia and the big state schools, those are the cool things to do. If I could do anything to talk to these kids about going to college, it doesn't matter where you go to college, and so
that's not a popular opinion.
Exactly.
I agree
you
with
and
you.
I went to different schools. We have the same job, where it doesn't matter the name on it. So it's really what it boils down to is just a matter of the best fit for you, and that could be money. It could be what the school offers to study, and that's not stressed enough. And so getting these application essays in, we try to polish them up so they can go wherever they want.
No,
I got to stress them.
I completely agree with you. After you get your jobs, the first couple jobs, no one cares where you went to college.
Doesn't matter.
And so if you don't get into that perfect school that you have to go to, your life can still move on, and you're going to be okay.
That's tough for a young person. I know,
Yeah,
because you
it
know
is.
the glamour, you know, I don't know what to call it, but you know, there's this idea of, you know,
It's all
there's a
riding
stigma.
upon this.
There's this
Yeah.
stigma of going to Athens or going to
Right.
Georgia Tech, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever, where you fit, where you know the people are going, and
Right.
that's, I think the idea of college is lost, is for learning.
Yeah.
Heck, man, when I was going into college, I wasn't really thinking about the learning part of it, and it's so. I think we need to stress more to them. This has gone off the rails here, hasn't it?
It
College
really has.
application essays, right? But
Yeah.
it's got to be stressed a little bit more about like focusing on financial. I think is the biggest thing.
Right.
Um,
Well, we were
That's
just
super
talking
wide.
before this
Yeah.
began about the Dave Ramsey stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, God,
So-
he's great about all that. He's,
And that's why people listen to that, because they're graduating with like $150,000 of student loan
It's so
debt.
stupid.
Yeah,
I
and
can't,
so
you know, and these admissions offices that are just down the street that we go to, small schools like Georgia Gwinnett. If you go for a couple years and you can save money, you can start cash flowing a degree from Georgia State or Georgia at that point to save money. So really, what I would encourage with these application essays is start looking at like scholarships too, you know, and just
Oh, yeah.
write them and write them and write them and
Right.
write them. And kids just can't be lazy with that. It's free money out there.
Right.
The Common App's a good prompt, and you can start sending those out wherever. But you just got, you know, with this essay, I try to get back on track with the
Yeah.
essay. They got to take their time with it, but it shouldn't take them 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, write one, polish it up, get it in. Really is.
Yeah.
So, and then just start sending them out wherever,
Right.
especially for scholarships and stuff like that. That's always good. Yeah.
So, what do you think is the main goal on this essay? Is it to separate you from other applicants?
Yeah.
What it should?
So you really you want your voice to be heard.
Okay.
Okay, if you have a story, everyone has a story. Why is it important to you? So it should come across in your writing. And it's very tough because it's got to be short, but you want to elaborate so much on your story because it's so important to you, because you want to get in, you want the scholarship, whatever it is. But so there's like a fine line of being concise and using a lot of imagery, but you want your voice to come across in it. You want to try to separate yourself from everybody else, sure, but really what should come across in your essay is just your voice, your passion, and why you want to go on to whatever school it is. And the ultimate goal should be about learning something, not about where you're at.
True. Okay.
That's what the essay needs to have.
Okay. And that's important because
Oh, yeah.
people get sidelined by these details and stuff that really doesn't matter. But yeah, have the right purpose,
Yep.
I guess, is number one. Start early. We talked about that. That's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, so when we sign it, it's like the second day of school. We
Okay.
know our first day, hi, how are you?
Right.
Second day, we're assigning it. We look at examples for a few days to kind of give you an idea of where to take it. And then, yeah, I mean, week and a half in, those things are submitted and we're done. And hopefully we can start sending them out. Hopefully they're applicable to the schools that they do want to go to. But
Right.
either way, it's good narrative writing.
Yeah, because I guess it's true to, or we should mention that not every school is even going to require the essay.
Correct.
Some of them you're just filling out.
Yeah,
questions.
and that's why we try to do 2 birds, 1 stone. Narrative writing is
Yeah.
part of our curriculum in 12th grade language arts, so we start off with it, and we try to make it applicable to what they're doing after high school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, scholarships, I allow students to write it for scholarships too. I change the prompt, whatever they need to do, to apply it to school and college, or high school and college.
Yeah. Now, I was awful about applying for scholarships. I was just lazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's all it is.
When I take a look at some of my students, they're just dragging their feet, not doing the things that they should be doing. Well, I was that was me my
Yep.
senior year. My parents
Most
were like,
of us,
just
that's
fill
normal.
out
That's normal.
fill out the paperwork.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But you're not going to get it if you don't try.
You just,
So
it's trying most
yeah.
of it. I mean, if you fill out 100 applications for scholarships or whatever, and you get only 2 or 3% of that, that's still probably 50. Could be, I don't know how much it's for, 10 grand. That's 10 grand you didn't have before. That's
Yeah.
maybe two years of college right there. You get rejected 98% of the time. Who cares? You get that little bit. We got to encourage them a lot to just throw it out there more.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Just keep going,
Right.
writing those things, you know. And try to find, you know, you can reuse them for certain things.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right. Well, anything else that you have related to kids, college? What about, I'll just ask this, what about for all those kids that have no clue what they want to do? How would you advise those kids?
If you have no clue what to do, don't go to college, because then you're wasting your money.
I was going to say the opposite.
You were
Go
going to
ahead,
say
finish
the
your
opposite.
thought.
Well, then you're going to spend a lot of money. I've become a firm believer on, if you don't know what to do, then you need to try and work some places, figure some things out.
Okay.
I don't think anything forces these young people to figure out what they want to do more in life than living life.
Gotcha.
And once they start figuring, I was the same way. I stopped going to college, and all of a sudden I started getting surpassed by all these people at work. That I was working at a cell phone store. I was like, well, I'm better than them. They had the paper.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? That's what. Okay, fine. Now I knew exactly what I wanted to get into, and it helped me get in. Go back to college with a purpose. And I was driven, and I got it done much quicker. I was more successful. So going in, just I'll figure it out. I guess that's what your undergrad is for. Those 2 years of general studies, sure. But you also with the kids that. If you're motivated enough to go there and do the classes for general studies, then pick a major. Sure, that's fine. You're gonna eventually find a major. But if you have no clue or no desire, God, go work. Work is the one thing.
Yeah.
Don't go just gallivanting the earth. That's cool
Right.
too. But you got to have a purpose and some sort of focus. Work. Find out what you don't like,
Right.
so that you can start pinpointing. I know that might be counter backward, to what the.
No,
we
I don't
want
think
you to go to college, kids. We want you to go to college, but
Yeah. No, I love what you said. I think it's an important viewpoint. It's definitely an option. There's no perfect magical solution for all these kids. You mentioned it earlier. It's just kind of different for everybody.
Yeah.
But I just want to make it clear to students that might be watching when he said get that piece of paper. He's talking about getting a degree, getting a bachelor's degree, because a lot of times if kids are wanting a job, they won't even let you apply unless you have the degree. So what I would say, a lot of times what I say is if you don't know what you want to do, then college might be a better option. The cheap way to get to college, which is taking a couple years of classes at a community college
local
somewhere
schools, man.
that transfers to a four-year school. That's probably the most cost-efficient way to go to college and get the bachelor's degree. Then you can apply for so many other places. You got more opportunities for jobs.
And you can
and
always
such.
visit Athens on the weekends on game days. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, man,
and
I enjoyed it.
keep up the good work with your classes.
Yeah.
And thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right.